I want to ask if that's true. And so if we think about this from an evolutionary perspective here, would you say it's accurate or reasonable to say that for most of human history, before we started industrialization, when we were, out in the wild, so to speak, except in extreme environments, perhaps like where the Inuit lived, Tim, that in most natural environments, humans were just, we were intaking a 1-to-1 ratio of omega-6 to omega-3s because that was what was more or less naturally present in the environment. It was only after we started creating synthetic environments, industrial environments, or, in maybe extreme cases where some people moved up to the Arctic, where you got this imbalance of omega-6 and omega-3 inputs.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So modern agriculture, big agriculture has tried to mass produce foods at a lower cost.
Mm.
And so you're right. In those days, I'm sure that all beef was grown on grass and had this 1-to-1 ratio. And I hear that it takes about 3 years to bring a steer to market on grass-fed
Mm.
versus maybe 1 year on grain-fed. So there's an economic advantage to go with the grain feeding,
Yeah.
and that's where we've gone. But the same thing's true with these other oils. It's a lot cheaper to put in canola oil, which is horrendous processing to get there from seed. If you actually read and look how it's actually processed, or soybean oil, or cottonseed oil, or sunflower oil, versus an olive oil or avocado oil. Those are more expensive. So we've put these cheaper oils into things and tried to promote the idea that omega-6s are healthy, but in fact, just this imbalance has it's in everything now. So you can't go overboard, and we have in all our foodstuffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing happened is that our kind of food source is changed, and that is shifting the omega-6 to omega-3. But at the same time, what happened, we have really kind of our whole lifestyle becomes more sedentary. So,
Right.
so we increase our pro-inflammatory input in the body, but same time we become sedentary. Another one confounding factor is added, that we are less sleeping. So that kind of, we may ask like, okay, what is the connection of these two components? One, that is kind of because of the pro-inflammatory input, the body is kind of moving towards the obesity, and that kind of correlate to the kind of number of high cases of the cancer. And the component, the lesser, these both the components actually impacting the enzymes which processes the fat, whether it is omega-3 or omega-6. Then if your enzymes become weak because either overabundance or your sedentary lifestyle or you are not sleeping on time, that leads to obviously what happened, that whatever intake you are taking, your machinery to process the fat is already cramped, weak. So the quality of mediators will be a very fragile or totally collapse or disrupt. And that's why whatever you are eating, it's not getting cleared, or whatever the debris is from different sites in the body, that is not clear. That is the kind of primary function of the immune cells when you're sleeping, as a patrolling different immune cells, go in a different sites, find out the wear and tear and clear it. So that's how kind of hold the immune system and the fat, they have very tight coordination every single day, and find out where is the debris, how it can be cleared with the help of those four components: the fat, enzymes, lipid mediators, and the receptors. And they work as a very precise, tight fashion so that they can clean the body and maintain the health.
Yeah. And then one of the themes here, I think, is that there are multiple points of variability here, or where the potential for inflammation can be altered.